Hang on a minute. It's a bit dark here. I normally have a bigger light on there, but I thought, okay, let's get a little bit cozy. Now, medication. Let's talk about medication. Um, and and how when you've got bipolar, sometimes the medication helps to keep you calm, helps to so you don't kind of go off the rails, that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm just thinking that yeah, medication is awesome for making sure you stay normal, but it it fucks with you in so many other ways, and that's probably one of the reasons why uh, people with bipolar kind of stop taking their meds, because even though it kind of keeps you calm, it also you also know at some point that I'm this is not me. This is not the normal me. It's what it is you when you take the meds, you become normal by the definition of everybody else. In other words, you kind of you you kind of not crazy. Um, but like for example, in my case, I write books for a living. Just gonna. I'm hoping this is picking up the sound. Yeah, I write books for a living, and that creativity is something which is very very important to me. And when I'm on my meds, um, I just I just feel as if I'm not not able to create, and that's difficult. And also there, there comes a point where you just become numb. So you become numb to emotions, and when when you're starting on in a like a for example a relationship, you want to be able to feel those emotions. And for some people the meds are fine. They they take the meds. They become a definition of normality, and they're really cool with that, and it it helps them. And I mean, I suppose particularly if they have massive extremes, if they go really hyper. um I mean, I generally, when I come off my meds, the the depressions are the worst part, and I tend to notice them pretty much straight away if I don't take my antidepressant. Um, I I notice it pretty much within 24 hours. The antipsychotic, the quetiapine, Seroquel. I the thing is, when you're feeling happy, you don't think there's anything wrong. So if I miss like my evening meds, which is when I take the quetiapine, um, I I start to feel good, and I start to feel good for like it's like a short period of time. So I can probably come off my quetiapine for about 3 or 4 days, and um, I I can tell that I'm starting to kind of slip into kind of a hypomanic sort of state, but I kind of feel okay. I kind of feel good, and but then there is that thing where you just know that if I stay off the meds, then I'm going to start getting aggressive and argumentative and opinionated and become not a very nice person. Um, and I like abusing alcohol and sorry, I'm yawning, stuff like that. It is actually 2:45 here in the UK, so in the morning. So I'm actually quite tired. I haven't taken my evening meds now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take them in front of you. Right. Got them here. These are my Monday meds. Monday had to remember to put the bins out today because it's bin day tomorrow. Right, these are my evening meds. Yeah, I'm taking them late, but I got up late this morning because I didn't sleep last night. I went back on my meds last night, but it didn't kind of. Normally, when I take these meds, it makes me tired. Maybe it's when you take them the night before it makes you tired. Right. So what I've got here is this is 300. Actually, I'm going to run through all the other meds that I take. Right. Okay. Right. This is Ramipril, and this is for high blood pressure. I don't think my blood pressure is massively high, but I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I've turned 51, and so they want to make sure my blood pressure's kind of normal. But so that's what that one is. There's no. I thought I can add some coke in. I can normally dry swallow, but I'm taking these in front of you guys just so you can see what I'm taking. Right, okay, this I've got to get the measurements right on this. This is 200 milligrams of pregabalin, and this is 50 milligrams of pregabalin. So it's 250 milligrams to take that twice a day. It's for like nerve pain. So go out down my neck. Right. This is something beginning with C. I can't pronounce it, but it's for allergies. I take a different one in the morning to what I take at night. I take loratadine in the morning. This one apparently can send you to sleep, so that's why I take it at night. And if I miss these, if I miss this or the loratadine in the morning, my nose starts to run really, really badly. I don't even know what I'm allergic to now because I started taking these because my ex-wife had a dog and a daughter had two cats. So every time I go around there, my allergy really kicked off. I mean, like scratching my eyes so as they just turn red raw. But yeah, this begins with CHLOR, something like that. Anyway. Hmm. And now we come on to the antipsychotics. This is 300 milligrams of quetiapine. Seroquel, as it's also known under a different trade name. So I take 350 milligrams of this. So I take one big tablet like this. And it's not that big, I suppose. So I'll get out. And these tiny little things, I take two of these. These are 25 milligrams each. I take two of them. And these are quetiapine as well. So I'm on like 350 milligrams of quetiapine, which I take in the evening or early morning. Don't go by my example of just taking them when the fuck you like. I my sleep pattern is completely different to like normal people. It's been exacerbated by this coronavirus shutdown. So I generally take my morning meds probably late morning, midday ish even, and then I take my evening meds after midnight. So it's I'm trying to keep that 12-hour separation, and because I'd missed the evening meds for a few days, I'm just kind of getting back into the routine. I I would say that you should not miss your meds. But that's that's kind of a bit rich coming from me because I do occasionally miss my meds, as I said earlier, and it doesn't do you any good to miss the meds. It you're basically playing Russian roulette with your emotions. As I said earlier, it's worse when I miss my antidepressants because then I hate feeling low and depressed. I hate all of those emotions. I end up like crying and just thinking really negative thoughts. So I always endeavour not to miss my antidepressant, sertraline. Something like 200 milligrams of that. Um, the like I said earlier, the evening meds, the quetiapine. Um, you you don't really. Well, I don't really feel particularly bad for the first few days after I stopped taking it. But I do know that if I stayed off it, I'd get to the point where I would start doing stupid things. I mean, I got I, I got a large sum of money at about October last year, and it was around about the time uh, when my wife was off sleeping with somebody else and disappearing off the radar. If you've been watching the videos, you know all about that story. Um, and so I was like, um, I, in a way, I was like depressed, but I was coming out of the depression. And I know that getting a large sum of money uh, can bring anybody out of a depression. the The problem with me is it brought me out of the depression, but I ended up just um, blowing a lot of the money. I mean, even though me and my ex-wife are like supposedly separated, but on like a not on a break, but like trying to make things work again. I gave her a shitload of money as well. I mean, we're not talking millions. We're talking like, you know, about a grand or something like that. And then I pretty much blew the rest of it very quickly. Um, and the problem is it's kind of a snowball effect. So I stopped taking all of the meds, so I become depressed. Um, and and then you come out of the depression, you get like hyper, and it's. I was speaking to my sister earlier. Well, not speaking, but like texting each other. And I said I was back on my meds, and she said like, yeah, you kind of seem okay and like moderately normal. That's me paraphrasing. That's not what she said. And I don't know. I don't know. Just I'll just say uh, if if you've been diagnosed with bipolar, and if you've been given meds, which you should have been if you've been diagnosed. I mean, I don't know what it's like in America. Over here, we see a psychiatrist. We don't see a therapist or a counsellor. Um, in the UK, I used to work as a counsellor. In the UK, counsellors, stroke therapists, um, are not doctors. They can't prescribe medication. So you have to get a diagnosis from a psychiatrist, and they're as rare as rocking horse shit over here. Just imagine that's a consultant. They've gone through all that fucking training to become a psychiatrist, and I imagine they got a massive workload. But if you've been diagnosed and you've been prescribed medication, take the medication as much as you can. Take it as much as you can, because I, you might think that, like I said earlier, you might think that it's good just to like miss the antipsychotics, because that um, kind of gets me into a space where I can become more creative. But I also, my mind starts racing then, and I can literally have 5 or 6 conversations with different people at the same time. So it's like probably a couple by text, one by messenger, one on the phone, and one by a video screen, and I'm just like kind of going between them all. So yeah, I just wanted to. I'm going to end this video in a second. I just wanted to talk about me missing meds and going back on the meds, and hopefully if you're in a similar position to me, you've been diagnosed with bipolar, then you'll try to stay on the meds as much as possible, because once you once once I go past the point of starting to feel really good, um then I'll become like a an obnoxious, really horrible bastard, and by that point, I don't recognise that I've become that person. I just am that person. So I like offend people around me, and if one of my friends or a relative says, "Sean, you need to get back on your meds," I get really, really offended by it, and then end up falling out with people. So yeah, try your hardest to stay on your meds. Certainly, do your best not to stop your antidepressant if you're on an antidepressant, because you will probably, like I have done, you'll dip really quickly, and especially if you have been through some kind of emotional turmoil, like I did with uh, you know uh, separating from my wife and my mum dying. If you've gone through all that, then it's just going to exacerbate it. The the antipsychotics, if like I say, occasionally I'll come off them just to kind of get myself into that point where I can work. The problem becomes, as I said, I can go too far. I once I've been awake for like 3 days, as much as anybody would be if they're suffering from insomnia, say, you become very grouchy, and well, I do become very grouchy and aggressive, and um, opinionated, emotional, and so it's not good. If you're going to kind of abuse your drugs in that way, your meds, then you probably need some kind of strategy in place to actually make sure that you don't go too far when it comes to the hyper stuff. But anyway, look, 20 minutes. That's me being kind of snappy. I do talk a lot. If you I'd love to hear other people's experiences about taking the meds. and what it does to them. I know I've rambled, but I'm not keen to do a script. I really should do. But anyway, look. Sorry, it's a bit dark in here. Thank you for watching, and like as always, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.